I think today healed my heart in a way that's never happened. When I say I felt like my heart was stitching back together, like I was like, whoa, what is this? And I got to hug my dad. I got to meet my dad. I got to talk to my dad. Just to say the word dad is just like, whoa, like, you're not just the man I look up to as my dad, but you're my dad. That word has a meaning. Today is a special day. I got to meet my birth family. My birth dad. This is the video, maybe of introduction. I want to give a raw clip, honest recap review as it's fresh in the memory. I think today healed my heart in a way that's never happened. When I say I felt like my heart was stitching back together, like I was like, whoa, what is this? And I got to hug my dad. I got to meet my dad. I got to talk to my dad. Just to say the word dad is just like, whoa, like, you're not just the man I look up to as my dad, but you're my dad. That word has a meaning that's painful, but today it reflected something beautiful. And I'm forgetting that it's not just my process and my experience of connecting him and experiencing him, but he's experiencing me as a new member, but as his daughter. Like, he doesn't have children, so I'm his first child and only child. Let me stop. But just to say I'm somebody's child means a lot. I did have, some things on my channel that would talk about dad, and like I would talk about dad, but in a painful way. But somebody actually wanted me. Somebody didn't know about me, but they were like, somebody wanted me. It's a thing that changed, because I always felt no one wanted me. The guy that I thought was my dad, at least in my heart, caused some pain in my life, and great pain, okay? But now, knowing that I'm not his daughter, the person who's my father wants me as his daughter and claims me and accepts me, even as this new information 20 years later wants me. And this is a success story, and I'm going to share it as what it is, because not everyone gets to say something like this as positive and as embracing. I'm used to pain and trauma, but my life has changed, and I want to thank God for this moment. My birthday gift. This is right before I turned 21. And I resented. I refused. I felt like I was about to fall off the floor. It took me 2 years to find this person. But my whole life, I've been thinking about him. At least a father. But to have a name, to have a picture, to have a warm message is the connecting piece that put my heart back together today. I went in with no expectations. Everyone kept saying, how do you feel? How do you feel? I felt neutral. I didn't want to get my hopes up. I was trying to be like, I want to see how this goes. I'm not going to, put a name to a feeling yet, because I don't want that to change. But let me just say, everything changed. There was some fear. It was some shock. Nervousness for sure. And I'm like, wait, it didn't hit to me that this is real until we were like 10 minutes away to arriving. And I was like, wait, what do I say? I mean, I already talked to you as much as I possible on text. And the first thing, I was like, hey, are you such and such? Yeah. And then we go and we drive. And then I have a few questions I would ask you. If you can, just answer for me. I can't. But there's some things that don't get answered. But the things that do, I think you should hold on to that. And just being stuck for 2 years with no answers is kind of miserable. And make you go insane a little bit. But sometimes answers is what you want, but sometimes answers is not what you need. I think what you need the most out of all of this is sanity and peace. I feel like I just grown right now. I hear my grown woman spark. There's a lot of things I want to share. I'm just venting about the initial visit. It took a while to know because background story, your girl has been adopted into a loving family at age 1. But you know, tragedy, loss, death, health came into the part, and that kind of disrupted a lot of things. So this is my adopted family. That's all I ever know. I'm a primary caregiver. You know, I knew Jesus at this time, right? But let's just say this. My mom passed away. The mom who I only known in my life, the mom I only had in my life, she passed when I was 10. I don't talk about it because I don't need to talk about it, especially not to you. Not to be rude, but it's not your business. So she passed at 10. And then moving forward, I went into something called CanGap, legal guardian, foster care, whatever you want to call it. Call it Hell House. It was Hell House. Literally Hell House. Okay. But that's not one but two, but also in the mix, I found out I'm adopted. Your girl didn't know. That devil witch tried to tell me. She was trying to tell me. And I didn't believe her until things got confirmed. So, all this time, I'm grieving over my mom, who's only been my mom, to find out I have a mom who's my biological mom, but she's alive, but she's not really active and proactive in people's lives. Find out I have sisters, find out I have nieces, find out I have nephews, and to find out I have people who have been searching for me, wanting me this whole time, but this foster witch been like, ain't nobody want you. You know, I just want to say that I had a lot of trauma in my life, and if you know me back then, you really didn't know me because I was going through traumatic stuff that I got misinterpreted and misunderstood, but that's fine because you wasn't gonna know in the first place. Yeah, so I have like different caregivers and families and people all over the place, and my adopted family has been my only family, and they love me no less, no greater than. They just love me as they own. But let's just talk about the dad at this point. I really believe just his words was like, I'm here for you. But it wasn't like just a regular word. It was a real meaning. And there was tears. He was crying. There was regret. I didn't know. I knew, or maybe I had a child. Just maybe. Because of the life I was living. Acceptance. Acknowledging. Feeling. And I just wanted to, I was trying to understand him. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking it in. But was I allowing myself to feel? I didn't cry or anything, you know. I was trying to be emotionally detached just because I've been hurt. And this is something that just touched my heart. Made it flatter. This story is not a perfect one. Even how I came into the story and how I came into the world is not perfect. How I found out I came into the world. That's just a lot of personal information. Cause baby, I ain't gonna tell you anything you need to know, baby. Just know I came. And then you kind of like, I don't believe like in the apple don't fall too far from the tree. But I just see too much resemblance in them, baby. I wasn't even grandma married, but this is just too much similarities. But let's just say, the biggest advice he told me to tell you, to tell me, to tell you. And I know who this person is. I'm like, how am I dating people that is exactly like my parents? And I'm like, my parents, I ain't met you. Sorry, but to the runners who like to run get into another situation or another relationship or another something. Just always going somewhere and not sitting down with yourself. Even myself, I'm a different kind of runner. I'm a kind of like a positive runner. I'm gonna run into something positive and keep my mind distracted because I don't want to sell myself rather than getting something that's not beneficial for me. But baby, we do different things for different things. I don't know, because maybe he's telling me to tell myself, but to tell you, stop running. Because you make things worse. And you just get yourself into more things that you probably don't even need to be in, but feeling with a lot of regret. And he was saying, deal with it now. Whatever, family, whatever, internal, whatever. Disconnect or loss of grief, but it had a lot to do with loss and grief. That wasn't resolved. And you know, sometimes people don't know how to cope or the right way or the wrong way. So, people are learning as they're growing and growing as they're learning. At least he knows her, right? Because I thought maybe they were strangers. Maybe it's a one-night stand. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's so much shame, like, to be a part of that. But they're friends. But, y'all can be mad at me and say what y'all want to say and feel how you want to feel. But this is why I don't believe in the whole we just friends culture, baby. Oh, you just friends. But that's why you gotta have boundaries. Like, you know, that's understandable. But baby, I came into the world by close friends. Oh, baby, you got what I need. What? But you say he's just a what? You say he's just a friend. Yeah, I don't believe in that. So, yeah. Good friends. To his knowledge, they were good friends. Yeah, good friends. I'm just accepting that's how I came into the world. It's good friends. He was sad. He was happy. He was processing to know that I'm his. I mean, I've been knowing about him my entire life for the last 2 years, so I had more time than he has to process. And it was some cycles, you know, of different emotions, and it made him think about his life differently, what he could have done different. And I'm like, you have that choice every day, but don't wait till the last minute. And then everything just comes at you at once. I know, baby, I know. But I hope this encourages you and heals your heart. And you find healing to your heart in the moment. Do what you can while you have what you have. And I pray for your success. And I pray for your future. And I always wanted a dad. And he's very similar to me. We have similar personalities, you know. I think that's cool to know somebody who's related to you after being around people who aren't, but doesn't mean they don't love you any less.